All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital. Thank you for your patience. Little delay on tonight's podcast, as noted. I had a college course to teach tonight, and it was their first session, so that went a little bit late. So this is going to be a quick review of today's trade, and let's see what we got. All right, so the sell-off continued today. We pushed to a new 10-day low. It opened where it closed, sold off sharply, and then spent the rest of the afternoon making a 1 ATR plus move to close near the top of the day at the southern skin of the dragon. The dragon has now rolled over. The PSAR flipped from here to here. So we now have sort of the end of that upward move, and now we're definitely playing defense against a breakdown of this 10-day low. On a good news, the break of the previous 10-day low did not result in a massive sell-off. It was a controlled sell and then a rebound. And so this is now making the argument more for this kind of sideways chop starting to develop rather than the big sell-off. But we'll see what tomorrow brings. To the upside, it has to get through the skin of the dragon, the spine of the dragon, the peak of the dragon, then the RL10 peak, the PSAR flip, and then Z2, and then a 10-day high. So there is a step ladder of price action on the way up that has to be contended with. We don't have a real breakout until we get above 354, which is the 10 and 30-day high. The peak experience was up here at, basically 360 at peak price, which was almost at Z3. On the downside, a little easier to see, we have yesterday's low, today's low, and the 10-day low. Then it's the Bollinger Band mean at 337 and 3/4. Then it's a quick fail all the way down to Z1 at 330, fair value at 327, Z2, and the RL10 belly at 323 and below. So I still think this is a market that is, we could characterize this when the smoke cleared as still being tightly in this consolidation zone right here. And I would see the yellow zone basically being contained in this space here between Z1 and the previous PSAR. You might even call it today's low. So the breakout has to get above Z1. The breakdown would be below the 10-day low or today's low. Otherwise, it's a sideways chop. Here's a quick look at the things that worked. So you have the S&P at 0.55. Diamonds were at 0.6. The Russell at 1.73. And then Treasuries gave back 1%. They're down to 157. That is actually pointing towards the upside. The weakness in Treasuries is pointing to the upside, reinforced by upside in the Russell at 1.73. That's actually a favorable move, building on the afternoon gain. So I would expect at least one significant upward surge tomorrow. We'll see if there's follow through. See how the market responded to the debates tonight. Materials were co-equal with the S&P. Mexico 0.61, oil and healthcare at 1.5, Brazil at 1.8, finance at 2%, energy at 4%, oil exploration at 5%. So no surprise that Devon did best of all at 8%. You had the metals did well at U.S. Steel at 5%, Cliff Natural Resources 3.5%, Nucor Steel at 3%, Simon Property Group in the commercial real estate at 3.3%. You don't start seeing the tech leaders until you get down to Google at 1.4%, Intel and Tesla at 0.75%. Now, weaker than the S&P So I would say the upside had a mix of energy and finance, and mostly tech was absent. So that's actually a positive thing that it had gains and it didn't need tech to do it. The laggards today, so there's the S&P at 0.55 again. Clean energy, 0.3. Bell Ackman hedge fund at 0.26. Consumer discretionary, 0.2. Triple techs in the Qs at basically flat. The other, the broad tech sector, minus 1.3. So it was the NASDAQ was up today. Then you have emerging markets, basically flat. Japan, the FANGs, and XLK about minus 0.4-ish. Silver and wheat and precious down here at minus 1.5-ish. Then the weak companies, and I would say the VIX at minus 2.3. That also is a vote towards the upside for tomorrow, the declining volatility. Salesforce, Procter & Gamble gave back some, NVIDIA and Home Depot, Apple, Cisco, Walmart. So some of the bellwethers and the tech leaders were underperforming today, and there's Amazon, Microsoft, and Twitter underperforming, and yet the S&P kind of ground out a gain on the basis of some of these other non-tech leaders plus Google. So I actually take that as a positive sign. I'm going to shift real quick to the daily so we can get this produced and out the door.